What is up, YouTube? So the day's almost over with, and I think it's 90 something degrees out here. The damn sun done almost went down. It's still hot. But the last right at a year, I've got a lot of questions about these mowers. Well, we've hit 500 hours, broke 500 hours on this one, and in the next week or so, this one will also be at 500 hours. So here we are, 500 hour review. Some of you might know, I've worked for other companies, I've done lawn care for years. Some of you might know that I was not originally looking at Bobcat. I had John Deere. I was very experienced with John Deere, very experienced with Exmark. I was also experienced with Skag, and Skag was my choice to replace my current mowers with, the mowers I had. I was going with Skag. So I started talking to local dealers, which anybody in the market for a mower, I strongly suggest go talk to your dealers, bullshit with them, see what they can do for you other than sell you a mower. Because one of the biggest things is having dealer support. So that being said, I did some demos and ended up calling a guy in the next town over from me, 20 something minutes down the road, with the Bobcats. So I demoed a Bobcat. 2 days later, we were ordering these mowers. Now, I've ran the ZT7000 and the ZS4000s, the stand-ons and the sit-downs. Now, that is all personal preference. The point of view on these stand-ons, when it comes to turning and maneuvering and all that, once you get used to the mower, you are going to be faster than on a zero turn. That is not even arguable. If you're not faster on stand-up, you need to get used to running a stand-up. It's just the point of view being up and above. You can see better, maneuver better, and you make up a lot of time. But your sit-down mowers do tend to be a little faster. So on the straightaways, bigger yards, the Bobcat ZT7000 will just flat out fly. It'll leave these things behind. There's like a 2 mile an hour difference between the 7000 and the 4000. That 2 miles per hour on a straightaway, it's a big deal. But anyway, I have zero regrets. No regrets at all. I absolutely love these Bobcat mowers. And like I said, I was familiar with Skag, Exmark, John Deere, just a whole bunch of them, Ferris, several of them. These days, as long as you are comfortable with your mower and you've got good dealer support, hey, if it works for you, stick with it. Great. In my opinion, speed, the cut, the comfort, just covering all the bases. The best mowers on the market right now: Bobcat, Skag, and Exmark. I would say Toro, which basically is an Exmark, Toro owns Exmark. Exmark's separate entity, whatever. Toro's right there with Exmark. We could throw those in there too. But all that being said, I have no regrets. I feel like I definitely made the right choice going with these Bobcat mowers. Skag, the big thing for me was the velocity deck. We're in the South. I'm in a very rural part of the South. Well, we're cutting Bahia. Those stalks in the spring and summer, a lot of mowers just don't want to cut them. They're going to leave a lot of stalks unless you just slow way down. The velocity deck on the Skag and that AirFX deck on this Bobcat by far will cut Bahia better than anything on the market. I mean, we run around in transport, which is I think 11, 12 mile an hour, cutting Bahia stalks. And as soon as the heat hits and them stalks start to dry just a little bit, we single cut. We very rarely double cut unless it's just overgrown, you know. But just like the velocity deck, for the most part, it will single cut Bahia stalks. For someone like me in a rural part of the South, that right there is worth its weight in gold. There is so much time made up not having a double cut. It saves me a fortune. My John Deeres, they're good machines or tanks. They were little tanks, but they were slow. And you could pretty much guarantee anytime you got on a Bahia lawn, you were double cutting. So slower more, didn't leave the cut. Us switching to this was just night and day difference. Once again, I still think the Skag is right there with it, with Exmark and Toro right on their heels. But for what we do, the cut these things leave, it's unreal. It's unreal. So anyway, for those of y'all that watch our channel, that follow us, I don't cut my equipment any slack. I mean, we do some big jobs. It is hard on us. And I'm hard on the equipment. I mean, we push this equipment. They are definitely not no little subdivision lawn queens. These things are in the mud, they're in fields. I mean, hills, ditches, you name it, they're at it. And we push them hard. I've got plugs in tires. I got slime in tires. You can see they're dirty. They are dirty. Now they're greased up. They're maintained, but we run them. I don't have any complaints. And when I'm spending that kind of money, I'm picky. But I am gonna pick out a few little things for y'all. I'm gonna get picky here. Let me see. Probably see it better on my mower. The bars up here on the controls, the coating that they put on that, just from sweat and dirt and all that, it ate the coating off. So there's like surface rust. This one, it's not as bad, but it's kind of the same thing. I mean, that's just trying to nitpick stuff. I mean, you can see there's a little bit of rust on the bracket holding the muffler. A couple little bolts. You know, this one rusted. That one didn't. it's literally me nitpicking stuff. I mean, these mowers have held up to just constant abuse. Now, I will say this, both of these mowers, because they got the replaceable baffles, I don't know what it is about this side of the deck. Now, it's a very short baffle, it's inexpensive, but it does stick down low under the deck. Like I was saying, that baffle on the left side, you hit something, it's gonna bend that baffle. I don't know what it is, the baffle kind of drops down as it turns around the side of the deck. And it's a small dip, and right there, it will catch stuff. We've both done it on both mowers and pushed that baffle back just a little bit, and it's tight under there. It's really tight tolerances. And when we pushed it back, that blade come clean through the baffle. I mean, it's a thick piece of steel, but these blades are 1/4 inch thick. And these machines they got power, they got torque. It didn't even hesitate. It literally cut the baffle. So I ended up taking a little saw and just, because there was a piece of metal about this long, about 1 inch, where it dipped down, where it just sliced clean through it. I took a saw right there where it went in, and I cut it off. There's no need to replace the baffle yet. They still cut perfect. I have not seen a difference in the cut. I just removed that piece of metal. The damn spindles on these things, I swear to God, are indestructible. We've hit stuff, we've hit roots. Haley, 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, hit a piece of pipe sticking up out the ground. My old mowers, that was a spindle all day. Them John Deeres, I was buying a spindle. It would have grenaded that spindle. I've hit roots, oak tree roots, and just completely cut the root. Like took the root out. No damage. The spindles are still tight. Bearings are good. No vibration. Like, I'm starting to think these things are indestructible. Y'all might have seen some of the short videos. I cut up every now and then. Haven't broke anything yet. Knock on wood. Knock on wood. I have no complaints. Anyone in the market thinking about buying a Bobcat, get on one. Demo one, go out and buy it. There's a few different people that follow this channel. ELC has got some videos he's been making on his. That, from what I understand, everybody that's gone out and bought these Bobcats, they love them. It's definitely one of the top machines on the market. So, like I said, 500 and something hours, no complaints. Now, we did add the chute blockers. You see that one's got the little handle now? Okay, them big weird ass handles that Advanced Chute System puts on there, that shit's retarded. I said that when I installed them, that was ridiculous. I've gone to the short handle, which I did have to replace the handle. I broke it off. I caught it on a limb. I ducked under the limb. Limb caught the handle, peeled the handle off. So I replaced the handle on it. I've got another handle that's about to go on the 61 because it's about to break now, to get that shorter handle on there. The thing is, if you lean over forward, you can reach it just fine. The Advanced Chute System itself Love them. The handles, garbage. Here's the thing. If you're gonna get a Bobcat mower, you need a mulch kit or some type of chute blocker. The discharge on these things is unreal. You will discharge grass 15 to 20 feet out the side of the mower. And it fans out, it spreads out, but it throws it a long ways. I've never seen a mower discharge that far. So you get in some areas, you know, anywhere near a road or near a bed within 15, 20 foot, you can't face that direction. Smaller yards. You get in some smaller yards and you don't have a mulch kit or some type of chute blocker, you're putting grass either in the road or in the beds. One or the other. There is no ands, ifs, or buts about it. It's gonna happen. So it's a good thing and a bad thing. It's good in the fact that the discharge is amazing. It spreads the clippings out all over. And I mean, it spreads them out. Like, it does an amazing job of it. And because the fact that it does discharge so hard, there's so much air moving through that deck, even in wet grass. I mean, you got to be in some thick, foot and a half tall, wet grass before it's going to clump up or plug up the deck. As long as you leave that chute open, you go through wet grass. I've cut grass, 2-3 weeks of growth, spring growth, literally in the rain, after days of rain, and it never checked up. Now, that was one of the times I did actually scrape the deck. In a year, I think I've scraped them maybe twice. Maybe. That's it. It don't clump up. Stuff that I would not have been able to cut with the mowers I had before, any of them. These things cut it and discharge the grass without plugging up the deck. So that hard discharge it's awesome until you get into tight areas. Tight areas, you better be paying attention, or you better have a chute blocker. One or the other. I mean, really, that's it. That pretty much covers everything. The comfort is amazing. The fact that I can adjust the bars up front, the way they sit, the way the machines handle. I mean, mine, I've got it set up to where when you touch the controls, it goes. I mean, it hits the tires pretty hard. You got to know what you're doing, or you're going to be spinning tires, tearing stuff up. While this one I have set up for Haley, it's fast, it responds quickly, but it's smoother. It's just set up, one's set up for her liking, one's set up for mine. All that stuff's adjustable. It's all adjustable in the console. Where everything sits, how far you got to move everything, it's all adjustable. It's really easy. It's very easy to adjust. That pretty much covers it. Like I said, we're at 520 hours, 470 hours. The only issue we had was a wiring issue when we first got them on the motor from Kawasaki. Kawasaki replaced the wiring issue to the PCM. It took a little while to find it. Some electrical issues are hard to track. Once they found it, it was replaced. The machines have been flawless since. You're going to have that with any of them. None of them are perfect. So, like I said, if it's something you're considering, I wouldn't hesitate on it. But I would definitely consider dealer support. And I would consider getting a demo if you can. You can demo one, go check them out. Hell, even if you ain't looking to buy right now, you got a Bobcat dealer near you, check them out. See if you can get you a demo. They might just change your mind. So, on that note, I'm done for the day. I'm about to go hit this shower. Back at it tomorrow in this extreme heat. And we're just going to keep grinding and keep knocking them down. So, anyway, don't forget, if you like what you see, you want to see some more, and you ain't already done it, hit that like, hit that subscribe, and we'll see you next time.